We are live in the Twin Flames Universe Open Forum. I'm Leesie, and I'm joined by my fellow Certified Ascension Coaches from Twin Flames Universe. We have a really juicy topic for everybody today. We're going to be talking about the true stages to Twin Flame Union. If you want to ask a question during this webinar, if this live, you can just comment and we'll pick up your question and do our best to answer. So I'm Leesie. I'm a Master Certified Ascension Coach. I've been in Twin Flame Ascension School since 2018, and I've really dedicated my life to helping Twin Flames heal separation consciousness. So we can go to Cristina next.
Hi, my name is Cristina, and I've been a student of Jeff and Shalia's since 2017, and I was a live student of Twin Flame Ascension School, and I'm in union with my twin flame, Daniel, and together we're certified ascension coaches, so we're here to support you in healing separation.
Thank you. Kanisha, would you like to go next?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kanisha Castillo. I am also a certified ascension coach. I have been a student since 2018, and I really just love talking about twin flames and bringing people the truth about twin flames.
Go ahead, Dany.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Dany. I was also a live student of Twin Flame Ascension School. I've been applying the teachings of union in my life since 2018, I believe. Maybe, yeah. And yeah, it's just been really nice to be here. I'm also a certified ascension coach. I'm in union with my twin flame, and I love to help, everyone to also heal so they can have also, their twin flame union and a very nice relationship with God through the teachings of union.
All right, thank you very much. So we wanted to start off kind of talking to you all today about the stages of Twin Flame Union, because there are stages, and we wanted to kind of address some misconceptions and some myths about the stages. And so we're here to kind of talk about what they aren't first, and then each of us will talk about what they are. And there are 4 stages, but let's talk first about what they aren't. Would one of you like to start off by sharing something about what they're not?
Yeah, so they're not there's a lot of stuff out there that like you have to fight, or you have to experience separation, right? Or you have to experience a no contact stage. And something that is really important to acknowledge is that that's actually not necessary. That's not a important part of the process, or like a crucial part of the process. You don't ever really have to experience a separation stage with your twin flame in order to come into harmonious twin flame union.
Yeah, so separation is not a stage. It's not actually real, but we'll keep going. Anyone want to add anything to that?
Yeah, that's what I was going to step on, was the stage part, is that you see a lot, especially in the open forum, of like, oh, me and my twin flame are in our separation stage right now. And it's just it's a lot of like, he has lessons to learn and he has things he has to do with the karmic. And in truth, his lessons are also your lessons. So if for some reason your twin flame is having to learn lessons, it's because you're having to learn lessons in this moment too. And as you heal that, you'll naturally heal separation. So it's not a need be. Another thing too is you talked about the non-talking stage of like just not talking at all with your twin flame. There has been a lot of times I've seen the open forum where they're like, well, we're not talking right now because it's just the best thing, which I can understand. It's probably the most compassionate thing while you're in the upset and healing the upset. But once you heal the upset, it's more than normal to have a conversation with your twin flame again. And so not having communication is just somewhere where you're not communicating within yourself. So not a stage. It's just deeper healing.
Yeah, it seems like, from the get-go, the separation looks like a stage because a lot of you experience that, and I did experience it. So it's something that you're experiencing, but that doesn't mean that it's the truth with a capital T. So anyone in the comments want to share any sort of idea? Maybe you know the stages already if you've read the Twin Flames Finding Your Ultimate Lover book by Jeff and Shalia. But if you want to comment below and just share what you had thought of stages on your twin flame journey, please feel free. I know Lex is watching with us and Sini's watching with us, so hello. And there's a few others too. So anyone want to add anything?
Yeah, I think that, I think the most important thing is that the reason that these like ideas of false stages come about is that people are trying to make sense of the twin flame connection, and they're trying to make sense of the dynamic that they're experiencing, and they're wanting to put like a logic and order to it. But these false stages that you might hear about online and things like that, that logic and order has been put in place from an energy of separation. And so, you can't really make sense of something from approaching it from an energy of separation. You have to be approaching it from an energy of union. And so that's why, the stages that we're going to go over that are expressed in Twin Flames Finding Your Ultimate Lover they're coming from the energy of like truth. They're coming from an energy of peace and an awareness that you can have your harmonious union with your twin flame. And there is logic to it, but it's a divine logic. It's not logic that is like funneled through a lens of separation.
Amen. Thank you, Cristina. That's so true. I never really thought about it like that, like that people are just trying to make sense of things, right?
Mhm.
And so it looks, to the naked eye, it looks like there's separation, but it's actually not the truth. That's great. Thank you. All right. Are we ready to move to the true stages?
I just wanted to share that, like, the stages that we're going to talk about right now can happen, like, there is no like an order, right? Like there is a process and the reason why it's because every journey is unique. And so all the lessons that you have to learn with your twin flame are going to be unique for your soul's experiences, right? And so the stages really are here to support you and so you can see what you're moving through and like, and how to like move through that. But that doesn't mean that like, it's like really like, okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and and this is how it's going to be. Like, it's something really profound, right? Like it's meeting yourself, right? So it's really something that is going to be always like, kind of like, one day you can be in one stage, right? Like, or a certain time, and then you can also go to the other stage, and like, you can just be like, kind of like going back and forth with the stages. But it's just because the healing also is always like, going with the flow, like if you, release control. But yeah, like that's how the healing really goes. And so it's important not to label, not to like label the stages, like to be completely like not label. I don't think label is the word, like to like be like too strict about them. That's what I'm trying to say, like, and just like receive them, learn from them, and be open to move through them with love, like Cristina was saying, right? Because there is no separation here. Even if you're moving through the stage of upset, there is no separation. There is always love, right? So yeah, I just wanted to add that about these stages before you start, Leesie.
Thank you, Dany. That's important. Yeah, these stages are stages that each have love in them and are focused on love. So actually, I'm not going to start us off. It's going to be someone special who has a special day today. If it's okay if I share Kanisha, happy birthday. Today is Kanisha's birthday. So happy birthday, Kanisha. We love you.
Thank you. I
Happy
appreciate that.
birthday.
Thank you.
She'll kick us off.
Yeah, so the first stage that we're going to talk about is the decision. And there's actually no stage before the decision. It's just making the decision to be in union and harmonious union with your true twin flame. And anyone who has taken this journey seriously and has made the decision that they want to be in harmonious union with their twin flame has said that after they've made this decision, things just shift and start moving in their life, because the universe, God, it's meant to guide you into that. It has your back in bringing you into union with your twin flame. So know that all of the forces are here to help you come into union as soon as you make that choice. So with the decision is having to really follow your intuition with things that come after that, because your intuition is going to lead you, or your soul's leading you towards your twin flame and healing the separation consciousness that is within you. And so that is when you'll start to see opportunities to use the mirror exercise. So when you make a decision and you're aligning with your twin flame, God is going to move through other people to bring up upsets for you to heal through. That way you don't always have to heal through all of these upsets with your twin flame. So it could be as simple as someone cutting you off in traffic and you feel some type of way about it. And so you'll want to use the mirror exercise and feel your feelings and come to a place of peace there. Or it could be missing your flight and feeling a lot of frustration. But you're always going to have these opportunities of choosing peace over the upset. And I really love what it says here in Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover, where it says, following your intuitive feelings may feel like a high spiritual accomplishment, but it is normal for you. It is normal and natural for you to feel safe, to feel love, and to feel peace, and to feel connected with everything. It is easy to achieve these things on a moment-to-moment basis because it's your true nature. It is easy for you to experience peace than it is to experience upset, because peace is your natural state of being. And so I love that, because it's really preparing you for harmony with your twin flame by finding peace and harmony in anything that comes up in your life. And so once you make that decision, just know that your life is going to change and shift. And it's going to be really important that you release attachment to the things that are going to be removed from your life, because anything that's removed from your life is because it's not in alignment with your union. And so you're going to be guided into that direction. And if you can do it with little to no resistance, it'll be easy. But that's completely up to you and your journey and how you desire to move through your journey. But just making the decision to be with your twin flame is enough. And you don't have to wait for them to decide to be with you. You just continue to choose that in your heart, and your true twin flame will mirror that back to you.
Yeah, I wanted to share that there is a comment from the audience, which I think is really valuable for us to touch on here. So Louise says, I experience a stage of not being in physical contact, even though we know we're twin flames. In some sense, I feel we are going through a stage of inner healing so we can get together with more consciousness on what it really means to live and be as twin flames. We want harmony, and it takes some time to realize and heal.
That's a really, good perception. And yeah, it is. The twin flame journey is a healing journey, and you're always healing. And if we look at these particular stages, they are a way to organize the healing process as a whole. But one thing is you're going to be moving through these 4 stages, and as Dany touched on, and I think we're all going to touch on it a little bit. They're sequential but not linear. Like you can be in certain stages of the decision, and then you'll be in other stages at the same time. So like with the decision, you can continue every day to choose to be with your twin flame. I'm still doing that every day. Like I have to decide to be with my twin flame, and yeah, I make the decision once, but it's like I'm still confirming and reaffirming that one decision. um, when you get to the later stages that we're going to talk about, you're going to be in a position where you can be with your twin flame next to them and not feel like you have to separate to heal. In some cases, it's more compassionate to heal physically apart. I've experienced that especially when I had trauma to heal. And I had to really just be compassionate with myself and my union for where I was at. And my union's unique, just like everyone else's union is unique in what you have to heal. So just be compassionate with where you're at in your process, but do know that you are designed to be with your twin flame and heal side by side, and you can heal to the degree necessary just to be able to be with them and heal side by side. There's no perfection. You don't have to be perfectly ascended to be with your twin flame. It's a huge lesson.
Yeah, the other thing that just goes with that is releasing control and feeling like you have to wait to like be healed or enough healed before coming back together or even having conversations, because you could just release control there. And just know that there's one of the things that I brought up is what Shalia had posted and shared is it says, nothing stopped me from coming together with my twin flame because I would not allow it. And that was so powerful for me to read, because there are moments where it almost feels like this is never going to come together. But your decision and your choices are so powerful, that you have to let go of the illusion that there's anything more powerful than your choice and the connection that God has created for you with your twin flame. And like Leesie said, you are meant to heal with them. And so if that's what you choose and that's what you desire, you can choose for it to be easy and to have God help you guys harmonize into that space instead of feeling like you have to hide and do it in separate corners. I mean, you can do that in the same home, but I would recommend like working on being in the same place together. And if you do need that space, you can go into a different room, write out the mirror exercise, and then come back together and share your healing together. But it doesn't have to be weeks or long periods of time with not communicating with your twin flame.
Yeah. And to add to that, something that I've noticed is that a lot of people, Jeff and Shalia say in Twin Flame Ascension School, you're not with your twin flame because you don't want to be. And that's a really profound statement because on some level, there is a part of you that's not desiring that. And it's about feeling into that and why, right? Why you don't desire that on some level. And what I found is that a lot of people are afraid of getting hurt. They're afraid of like opening up and letting that love in and then getting hurt. And so it's really important to be really emotionally honest with yourself about what it is that, like, how would you feel if they wanted to, have a relationship with you like tomorrow? That's the feelings that come up are what lead you to working through those feelings.
Amen. It's very true. So that brings us kind of into our next stage, which is meeting. And you might think to yourself, like, decision and meeting, that just takes a split second each one. Well, not really, because like we mentioned, you're continuing to reaffirm the decision. With meeting, Jeff and Shalia shared, this is in chapter 6 of the book, that sometimes it takes, what is it, longer than 6 months to fully meet your twin flame on every level. 2 to 5 years, I think, something like that. I can't find that
3
part
to
where
5.
it's 3 to 5.
3 to
Thank you. Why
5.
am I not? There it is. I had the words in my right, I had my finger underneath the words, and my finger went to a different place in the book. So yeah, 3 to 5 years of actually meeting each other on every level. And something, just to share, I'm just going to read straight from the book, this one paragraph, because I want to fully iterate what is meant here by meeting as a stage. Meeting is a stage because it takes a long time for you to meet your twin flame on every level, because you are meeting yourself on every level of your being. It took 6 months of daily contact before Jeff and Shalia had completed their meeting stage. This stage is where all parts of you are becoming intimately acquainted with all parts of your twin flame on every level possible. The meeting stage will often take longer than 6 months for many twin flames who are not consciously focusing on developing their union as efficiently as possible and for the purpose of harmonious twin flame union. Jeff and Shalia are exceptional in the speed with which they develop their permanent and harmonious twin flame union. Most unions will take 3 to 5 years to fully complete this stage. Stages can overlap and occur simultaneously, as Jeff and Shalia found out. Okay, so that goes into the next stage, but I want to talk a little bit more about meeting, and that's that, like if you think of, parts that you're getting to know about yourself, like, oh, I'm discovering I actually am not a social butterfly. I'm actually a very introverted person. I didn't know that about myself. And I started to understand that as one aspect of me. I'm now able to see my twin flame in that aspect too, in however he's presenting himself. A huge part of meeting for me in my union was getting to know myself and my life purpose. So that's why we see so many twin flames come into union when they start to go all in on their life purpose. And Jeff and Shalia have developed a class called Life Purpose Class that helps you to get clear on and then develop your divine life purpose. And when I started to really open up to my divine life purpose as an ascension coach, it really magnetized my union together. Like it was clear that I wasn't fully aware of who I was, and so I couldn't see my twin flame either in that area too. So we couldn't like meet there until I claimed it and then started going all in with that part. So it's getting to know yourself on that level, the life purpose level. There's other places, like for me, I find this very juicy. I'm like a nerd when it comes to healing, and I get really excited when I find a block. I'm like, that's why it happened. That's why I've been experiencing that my whole life. And maybe some of you relate to that, but it makes me so happy. Yes. Um, it's like spiritual scientists, but I had trauma that I needed to heal, and I wasn't fully aware of what was making me tick. Why was I manifesting the same experience over and over again in my life? And I didn't know or understand myself there. And that, like, part of me meeting myself was exploring, what my blocks were, like what happened in my childhood that reflected and ricocheted into my life in the present moment, and then healing that. And the last part of what I wanted to share was I started to get to know how resilient I was and how loving I could be, and what a loving person I was to myself. And I had never experienced that in my life. I'd only ever heard from my external reality that I was bad and unlovable and unloving. And I wasn't really aware of my divinity. So a really good resource. So in addition to Life Purpose Class, and I didn't mention this, but the mind alignment process, MAP, that's how I healed my trauma and discovered what it was through MAP. And then the last resource I want to share, if you really want to know who you are and therefore be able to see your twin flame properly. Get the Romance in Sedona workshop, because there you will learn about your divinity. You're going to learn about how divine you are. And you won't be able to see your twin flame properly until you understand your own divinity. You can't see theirs if you can't see yours. So I just wanted to share that. I was like, we drew straws. We were going to talk about like who's going to take which stage. And I chose last, of course, because I'm the host. I was like, oh, meeting, that's the stage. I don't really focus on that stage so much when I read the book. But I'm now understanding like it's actually a really cool stage. And I'm really enjoying getting to know myself and my twin flame too in ways that I couldn't see before. So yeah. Are there any comments that have come up since we last checked before moving on? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, no, Louise says thank you. And yes, understanding my intimacy is something I go through at the moment. She'll get the Sedona workshop.
Yay. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's a powerful one that was like for all of us. It added a new insight and awareness to our spiritual understanding about who we are. So cool. I think that's Dany who's next.
Yeah. So the next stage is upset. And something that Jevon Shalia say in the book is that, your twin flame is not triggering you because they want to hurt you. And you are not triggering your twin flame because you want to hurt them. The trigger thing, right? Like it's actually because they love you. And the reason is because, since your twin flame is your perfect mirror, they are going to show you everything, just like what Leesie was saying, right? Like about, like meeting myself, right? Like I was able to meet myself in this area. Well, the upset like follows that as well, because, when you have a trigger, it's actually just an opportunity for you to meet yourself on a deeper level. And it's just really like a call for love, like there was also this video from Jevon Shalia in their YouTube channel where like they were talking about like how to like make the upsets more like smooth, how to support you, you and your twin flame when you're moving through an upset. And they were saying like, just know that like the truth behind of what you both are looking for is love. Like it's a call for love, right? You want to feel loved. And this is tied to, I think, what Cristina was saying, or Leesie or Kanisha, I don't know, but it was about like, people don't want to be hurt, right? And that's why I think it was Cristina who said that. But yeah, it's like people don't want to be hurt, right? And so they protect themselves. But the truth, guys, and this is something that you're gonna have to come, like you're gonna have to learn this again and again and again, that your twin flame cannot hurt you. This is so powerful because your twin flame does not have the power to hurt you. Nobody has the power to hurt you. Your twin flame is you, right? Like that's why we talk about it, right? Like that's why Jevon Shalia say that everywhere too. You are one. You share one consciousness. You and your twin flame are one. One here, one there. Because that's the truth, right? And they are just gonna bring to light what's not supporting your growth, what's not helping you embrace your true self, right? Like your loving self. The twin flame journey is the fastest path of ascension, because it's there to show you all along what's not aligned with love. Is this actually aligned with love? Yes, keep it. It's not, leave it. That's really how it is. And now, of course, it's easier said than done, but this is the way, right? By healing what's not aligned and moving through the upsets, so you can have the union. And union and harmonious union is a vibration. It's a spiritual vibration, like I remember when I got into union with my twin flame, and this is also related to like decision, right? What Kanisha was saying, like I was in union already. I couldn't care less what was going on the outside, you know. I was in union, that was my reality. I was claiming that, and I was moving through my upsets, and I was not attached to my twin flame. I knew he was with me. He was one with me. And I knew his job, right? Like not job, but like I knew that like his purpose, right, in my life was to be my lover and my teacher. And I just made the choice to be in union, you know, and then I got into union because that's how powerful we are. And I think it's also because of what I was saying, like, you know, I moved through the upsets, right? Like I took it seriously because you have to take it seriously, you know, like, especially when you're moving through upsets, you cannot just like overlook at them, you know. You have to move through them, you have to be with them, you have to bring presence and love and peace. And you do this with the mirror exercise, you know, and all the support that you can get here in Twin Flames Universe to help you move through this, because of course upset, it's the stage that nobody wants to experience, right? Nobody wants to feel the yucky feeling, you know. But that feeling, that it's what Jeff, you know, said once, you know, like it's the bitter medicine. You drink the bitter medicine, it heals you. And so it's safe to take it. And then going back to what I was saying before about like your twin flame cannot hurt you, right? Because their purpose is to help you heal. And so you can always mirror what they are, you know, showing you, and then make like decisions that support, you know, your self-love and your union, right? Like based on love. And then when you do that, everything flows, and everything, you just keep grounding into more love, right? Because love just keeps expanding and grows and grows, and it never ends. And that's what you're here, right? This is like an eternal path, right? Like an eternal, like a decision to have eternal union with God. And that's why I also think that, you know, it's important not to be attached to the upsets and to the upset stage, because you are going to be in this stage, you know, you're going to move through things, and you're going to have these upsets, and they're going to be okay. And then another thing might come up and things like that. But you don't need to attach to them. That's going to help you see your twin flame, your union, and the journey with the eyes of love, because it's easy to see, you know, like to get into fear and like see the upsets and like judge it, or judge you and your twin flame, and like, you know, just be angry about it. But there is no reason, you know, like you can just let go of all of that, and instead of judging, you can just laugh, you know, and move through those upsets knowing that you're one and that you can move through that, you know. And so, yeah, like, I don't remember if like there is like a specific time. I don't think they mentioned that, because like that, oh, you're going to be moving through this stage for this period of time. Like this is just, I mean, we're talking about perfect union with God. So this is just going to be a thing that's going to happen in our lives. And what helps you to be at peace with this is to not be attached to it. That's how you actually, because you're always going to be, you know, growing, and you are enough though already. But yeah, don't get attached to it, and move through it when it comes up, and persist and never give up. And yeah, like that's how you have, you know, union and harmonious union, and it's for everyone. So yeah, this stage I think requires acceptance and perseverance, if that's correctly said. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like what you're really touching on is that you can't avoid the upset. It's just part of your twin flame, like mirroring to you any place it's out of alignment. And this is something that I had struggled with a little bit, especially volunteering in the Church of Union, is like this fear of like sometimes being disciplined, of like, oh, I'm going to try to not do anything so that I don't get, I wouldn't even say the word in trouble, but like just showing where you're out of alignment. And as the more that I volunteer, the more that I'm like, actually, no, this is what's the most compassionate for my union, is because I'm able to see the upset from a different perspective and heal it here, knowing that it's going to heal within my union. And a lot of us have come to the realization that we just can't avoid healing and growing here. And it's going to require having to move through the uncomfortableness of the upset. But like you said, not attaching to the upset or identifying with it. You're not your upset. It's just pointing to you where you need to love yourself. And then the other place too is, again, not taking it personally, like you had touched on. And I think that the upset stage is where a lot of us will take it really deeply personally and think that there's something wrong with us. That's not the point of the upset, or the point of the healing is not to point at you and be like, there's something wrong with you. It's to show you that you just desire love in the space, like Dany said. And so it's just an opportunity to love yourself deeper, not judge yourself, not identify with the upset, but to love yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And like, I think that naturally leads into what stage 4 is, which is unconditional love. And I just want to read this line from the book because it really sums it up nicely. Love is absolutely the result of deciding, working through the misalignment, and then receiving the fruits of removing the obstacles of love between you and your twin flame. So it's basically, you know, this is what you get to keep when you move through all of the phases, right? And, you know, Jeff and Shlia share in the book, the next thing I want to read is, these stages are sequential, but they're not linear. You will not find that one day you're completely in upset and the next you're completely in love. There can be parts of you which are in meeting, parts of you which are in upset, and parts of you which are in love, all in the same moment. And so that's really important to recognize, is that this is fluid. And like, this is something that, you know, is happening in, like, you know, your union comprises all of your consciousness, really, right? And so there's going to be places where these things are happening simultaneously. And so the unconditional love stage is like, when you really clear that block or that misalignment, this is what you get to keep, is the unconditional love. That's, you know, that's always been there, right? You've cleared the illusion, you've cleared the block that's been preventing you from recognizing what was always there. And now you get to keep that. And, you know, you keep moving through these stages and different aspects of your union, and you get to keep all of that unconditional love. Like, this is divine love that you get to experience in that phase of your union, and or in that facet of your union, right? And like, you magnetize your twin flame closer the more you're willing to move through these upsets within your consciousness, because then you get to keep that energy of divine love that you've claimed by healing.
Amen. And, you know, one thing that is important that Jeff and Shlia share is like moving through your upsets. It's so important for you to pass through that in this lifetime in terms of keeping your twin flame. Also, you're going to move through upsets in Harmonious Twin Flame Union, or union, right? I think we've kind of touched on it here, but you're moving through upsets is not going to stop when you attain union or Harmonious Twin Flame Union. You're just going to be more. It's going to be easier because you're stronger, not because the upsets themselves get easier. It just, you have more spiritual muscle. So I think, you know, a lot of people are afraid of upsets, and you don't need to be, because you can move through them. And there's a lot of tools and support here for you to help you. And, you know, everybody here in this group has a coach and watches Twin Flame Ascension School still, as a spiritual practice, and practices the mirror exercise. Why I'm sharing that is because it doesn't stop like when you attain union or harmonious union, or like the unconditional love stage. It's like you just keep increasing your love and your ability to move through things and to have that unconditional love. And my union, like, really started developing when I started to choose unconditional love. Like, I had to choose it. Like, I had a choice between holding on to resentment and anger, or choosing unconditional love for myself and my twin flame. And it was pretty clear that it was a choice. It wasn't something that happened naturally. I actually had to choose it, and it's really, really important. It's like the food, the manna that feeds your union. Like that's how you live. So I just wanted to share that that it's in your best interest right now if you're experiencing the illusion of separation to start to get mastered at the mirror exercise so that you can be in unconditional love beside your twin flame, so you can start to experience unconditional love within.
Yeah, I love how you touched on having to work through upsets after harmonious union. And for me, when I sat with this, because I think at the beginning of my journey, I did have this belief like, oh, once I get to harmonious union, we're finally there. And I remember coming across the class where Jeff was like, okay, now you're in harmonious union. Like, we gotta like stick to the wall and like go, because you now have to actually like do the work. Like it's going to keep maintaining your harmonious union. And so when I really sat with this, I realized that the mirror exercise is what we're taught is like the mirror exercise always brings us closer to God. And then the class or Twin Flame Ascension School, there's so much God in those classes. Like there's times where I'm moving through deep upsets with my twin flame and I'm guided to watch class and it goes right over that. Or even just the other day I was having an upset about my body and then I'm watching class and Shalia literally spends 30 minutes talking about the upset that I had in her own perspective. And so to not continue those things after going into harmonious union is pretty much saying like, I don't need you, God. I'm going to do this by myself. And you will quickly lose your harmonious union because you can't have it without God. He is the foundation of your union. And unconditional love, like you said, is the foundation of it. And so it's going to be important that it's a habit, it's your lifestyle to do the mirror exercise and to be in classes and to really be in the work. The work becomes, like you said, your spiritual practice, your life.
Amen. So I think there may be a few more things that each of you would want to share. We're getting close to the end of our live video. Is there anything else any of you wanted to share about stages?
Well, I wanted to share a comment that was in the comments. So Rashad says, I was very confused at first, but I see so clear now every day to work through these emotions and feeling and putting God first. My life is starting to flow so much better. And yeah, that's really true. You know, like putting God first allows you to be in the flow of where, you know, where God is taking you. And like when you make that choice to manifest your harmonious twin flame union, you know, there's already a path for it, right? Like, and every union's unique, but there's like, everybody has a path to follow, like certain things that need to be healed, certain, you know, bridges to cross, right? And like, when you make that choice to manifest your harmonious union, you're choosing to walk on that path. And, you know, the more that you put God first and release resistance to, you know, the challenges ahead of you, the easier it is to flow with that path. And you'll naturally attract your harmonious union when you're in alignment with God.
Amen.
Yeah, and like I think it's important like not to get like hooked with like this like, oh, stages, you know, like not to get high. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Like not to get high with anything, you know, with like, oh, like maybe I'm in this stage and so I'm just gonna whatever, Jesus, you know, I'm gonna surrender, right? Like, of course, surrender is, you know, it's part of the process, but like make sure that you're not avoiding. That's what I'm saying, right? Like always surrender. And when you think you've surrendered, surrender more, you know, just make sure that you're not avoiding. They are not just like, yeah, like, you know, like just getting high out of something, that you're actually grounding and healing and choosing to have a genuine relationship with yourself, with your twin flame and with God. And give yourself the space you need to move through each of the stages. And I love something that Cristina said, how like, oh, unconditional love, like this is what you get to keep, because that's what it is. Like when you move through everything, like you ground in unconditional love, and then you get to keep that unconditional love. And then that's, when you are vibrating in that, things get good, things get juicy. And you deserve that, and you're worthy of that, and it is for you. And so this is not a journey of suffering. This is not a journey of pain. This is a journey of ascension to your highest good. And Harmonious Union is, it's a very good feeling. And yeah, you have upsets and things, but just being with God, right? Like just healing, just like, the last comment, like just when you heal, you feel good, period. That's it. That's the love. That's unconditional love, because you move through the upset, you move through whatever, and like you gave yourself what you needed. And now you are like, you can see now like you're, how that is helping you and healing you. So it's always unconditional love, and that's what you get to keep, that what you get to experience. So just that, that this journey is about love. And the more you are willing to move through the upsets and the challenges and the meeting, because, and decision, like having the courage to make a decision and everything, the easier it's going to get. Even if challenges are not easy, you're going to be able to have love, and you're going to be able to experience more and more and more love. That's why you do this. That's why you work with a coach. That's why you do Twin Flame Ascension School, because you want to experience love and more love. That's why you are here. That's what we all want, right? So just wanted to add that piece.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
my
you,
last
Dany.
sorry.
Sorry.
My last piece would be that, oh, never mind, it left me. If it comes back, I'll get into it, but it left me. Yeah, it left me.
All right. Anyone else have anything?
Remember,
Yay!
your upset is never your upset is never what you think it is or who you think it's with. Your upset is always with God. And so when you can see it that way, that you're just moving through an upset with God and able to go to God about it and heal it at the core, you'll have so much gratitude for the people who originally brought you the upset or the situation that brought it to you. But it's having to really see clearly that it's never with the person or with the situation that you think it is. There's always something deeper, and when you really choose to move through it, you'll have nothing but gratitude and just like joy that you're able to move through anything that comes up, and that you'll feel so much more at peace, and you'll feel that unconditional love with God, and that will be manifested in so many beautiful ways in your life.
Amen. Thank you. I'm glad you remembered it, because I really wanted to know what it was too. So, does anyone have anything else to share? Do we feel complete? All right. Well, thank you. And if you do want to leave a comment after we're done with the live part, the video will stay in the Twin Flames Universe open forum on Facebook, and we're going to upload it to YouTube. So you can always comment, and we will respond to comments, questions that you have. If you think of the question later, you're welcome to share it. So happy birthday again, Kanisha. Thanks everybody for watching, and God bless you. Bye-bye.